We'll go through the last shlokas which we did in the last session quickly, so that those who are not able to uh, we were not able to provide the streaming last time, so we can repeat some of those, and then we'll start with Nididhyas now. Okay, so that's what it would be. So we are on shloka number 870. We are on shloka number 90. प्रारब्ध का निराकरण. Just before that, we have the shloka number 89. हे महामतो, आत्मस्वरूप को निरंतर जानते हुए अपने संपूर्ण प्रारब्ध का भोग करते हुए काल व्यतीत कर. Okay? तुझे उद्विग्न नहीं होना चाहिए. So this is part of the section where we had looked at that देह और आत्मा को हम जब एक मानते हैं तो वो सही नहीं है. वो इल्यूशनरी होता है, कभी जो है रॉन्ग परसेप्शन से होता है, कभी किस कारण से होता है, तो उस तरह से वो एक नहीं हो सकते. तो अब यहाँ पर वो कह रहे हैं जबकि देह जो है आत्मा से अलग है, तो देह जो है वो किस प्रकार से अपना समय यहाँ व्यतीत करेगा कि वो प्रारब्ध समझ के कि मैंने प्रारब्ध अनुसार ये जन्म लिया है, ये समझकर मैं अपना यहाँ पर समय व्यतीत करूंगा और नए कर्म नहीं उत्पन्न होने दूंगा. ठीक है, ये यहाँ पर उन्होंने समझाया था. ठीक है. Then he talks about that how do you dissolve the aspect of prarabdha itself, okay, which is prarabdha ka nirakaran, shloka number 90. Can somebody read the shloka number 90 in English? Please.
90, the theory, 90, page 66. The theory one hears of from the scripture that prarabdha does not lose its hold upon one even after the origination of the knowledge of Atma is now being refuted. Note 1 from the scripture. From such scriptural texts as the delay in his case is only so long as he is not released from the body, then he will attain to Brahma. Chandogya Upanishad. Note 2. Prarabdha does not lose its hold, etc. The Shruti in many places has declared that even a jnani is not free from the operation of Prarabdha. Shankara has dealt with this point at length in his commentaries on Chandogya Upanishad, Vedanta Sutras and Gita. In all those places, he has supported the popular view that Prarabdha is binding on even the jnani. But here, as well as in his Vivek Chudamani, he has boldly asserted the true Vedantic view without any compromise. He has clearly shown that to a Jnani there is no such thing as the body, and it is meaningless to say that he is any longer under the influence of Prarabdha, which has no hold upon the bodiless Atma. The author brings in his arguments in support of this view in stanzas 91 and 92.
Correct. So we'll read 91 and 92 and we'll read the entire section and we can have a discussion on Prarabdha again. As I was telling you last time that once we read through the section, we understand how Prarabdha is also dissolved once a person is realized. Okay. So we'll do that now. We're looking at shloka number 91.
91. After the origination of the knowledge of reality, Prarabdha verily ceases to exist, inasmuch as the body and the like become non-existent, just as a dream does not exist on waking. Point 1. Note 1. Inasmuch as the body, etc., The body, mind, intelligence, and the like have their existence only in ignorance, and therefore cannot exist when the latter is entirely destroyed by knowledge. In the absence of the body, Prarabdha also necessarily ceases to exist, since there remains nothing on which it can act.
झाग पड़ने पर जैसे स्वप्न नहीं रहता, बस बंद कर दीजिए। जाग पड़ने पर जैसे स्वप्न नहीं रहता, वैसे ही देह आदि असत्य होने के कारण ज्ञान उदय के पश्चात प्रारब्ध नहीं होता। ठीक है? So all the interactions which are taking place with the body, which is supposedly in a dream, those interactions all vanish once the dream is over. Yeah. So let's look at 92.
92. That karma which is done in a previous life is known as prarabdha with respect to this life which it has brought forth. But such a prarabdha does not exist for a man of knowledge as he has no other birth. 90.
Right. So just let's read this in Hindi as well. जन्म अंतर में, जन्म के अंत में, जन्मांतर में किया हुआ कर्म ही प्रारब्ध कहलाता है। जन्म के दौरान, जन्म के समय, जन्म होने के पश्चात वही कर्म केवल प्रारब्ध कहलाता है। अतः ज्ञानी की दृष्टि में जन्मांतर का अभाव होने से, पहले जन्म में कुछ कर्म किए थे, उसका अभाव होने से वे किसी अवस्था में नहीं है। प्रारब्ध किसी भी अवस्था में, किसी भी पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है। राइट? Yeah. Go to the next one. 93.
93. Just as the body in a dream is superimposed and therefore illusory, so is also this body. How could there be any birth of the superimposed body? And in the absence of birth of the body, where is the room for that prarabdha at all?
Right.
No.
Now this is clear. We don't have to read the section after that, which is only talking about superimposition. We look at 94.
94. The Vedanta texts declare ignorance to be verily the material cause of the phenomenal world, just as earth is of a jar. That ignorance being destroyed, where can the universe subsist? Note 1. The Vedanta texts declare the word Vedant here means the Upanishads, which form the latter part of the Vedas. The texts alluded to here are no Maya, ignorance, to be the Prakriti, material of the universe, Shvetashvatar Upanishad, and so on. Note 2 that ignorance being destroyed, etc., the cause being completely destroyed, the effect must cease to exist. A piece of cloth cannot exist when the threads are all burned. So the world cannot continue when ignorance is destroyed.
Right? The basis of this existence is ignorance, and once ignorance is destroyed, then how can this world exist? Has been said here. I'll read in Hindi as well. घड़े के उपादान कारण मिट्टी के, घड़ा जो है वो मिट्टी से बनता है, तो मिट्टी उसका उपादान इज मटेरियल कॉज के कारण समान वेदांत ग्रंथों में अज्ञान जो है वो प्रपंच का उपादान कारण बतलाया गया है। सो इग्नोरेंस हैज बीन सेड टू बी द मटेरियल कॉज ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड। ज्ञान होने से, उसका नाश हो जाने पर फिर विश्व कहाँ ठहर सकता है? जब ज्ञान होता है तो ज्ञान का नाश होता है, उसके नाश होने से ये विश्व कहाँ ठहर सकता है? ठीक है? You can go to 95.
95. Just as the person out of confusion perceives only the snake, leaving aside the rope, so does an ignorant person see only the phenomenal world without knowing the reality.
right?
96. The real nature of the rope being known, the appearance of the snake no longer persists. So the substratum being known, the phenomenal world disappears completely.
Correct. It is just proving that if you know the substratum, then you will not perceive that which is Jagat. Just as once you know it is rope, then you're not going to perceive snake in it.
Should I read note 1 or no? 97. The body also being within the phenomenal world and therefore unreal, how could Prarabdha exist? It is therefore for the understanding of the ignorant alone that the Shruti speaks of Prarabdha. Note
Okay.
1.
So only for the understanding of the ignorant, okay, prarabdha exists. Otherwise, the prarabdha does not exist. So it's a creation which is helping us to sort of put our logic together in the head, why things happen. Okay. So it is from that perspective something which we are logically from our own understanding putting into our head. It in reality does not exist, because it helps us to understand why this body takes this form, why we have to suffer something in this particular birth, and so on and so forth.
It doesn't exist if you're a jnani, but if you're not a jnani, then it exists for you.
Yeah, so you create that. Right? That is what we are saying. Yeah.
97. The 97, huh?
Yeah, please.
The body also being within the phenomenal world and therefore unreal, how could Prarabdha this be read? Anyway, the body, huh? We read it? Yeah. Okay. So note 1. For the understanding of the ignorant, those who do not know the highest truth argue that if ignorance with all its defects is destroyed by knowledge, how does the body of a jnani live? And how is it possible for him to behave like ordinary mortals? They, however, fail to see that it is they who, being still in ignorance, see the body of a jnani and speak of him as behaving this way or that, whereas the jnani himself never sees the body at all, as he is ever established in Atma. To convince such persons, the Shruti brings in Prarabdha as a tentative explanation for the so-called behavior of a jnani.
Yeah. We go to 98.
98. And all the actions of a man perish when he realizes that Atma, which is both the higher and the lower.
So here the question was asked last time, what is
Yes.
higher and
Yes.
lower? So it is both. Okay, so Atma, which is the higher, and the lower, which is the body, both. Okay, so Atma is both the higher and the body also. Okay, how is it the body? Because it is at this moment manifesting itself through superimposition as the body. Okay, that is how. That all the actions of a man perish when he realizes that Atma, which is both the higher and the lower. Here, the clear use of the plural being used for both the higher and the lower. Okay, by the Shruti is to negate the prarabdha as well. How? Because all the actions of a man perish. Once the realization that the Atma is me, the Atma is me, I have realized, then all the actions also perish. And all the actions, the Shruti text runs as follows: the knot of the heart breaks, all doubts vanish, and all his actions perish. When a person realizes that which is both the higher and the lower. Okay. Higher and the lower. He realizes both the higher and the lower. So he realizes that I am that Atma, and he therefore understands that this body is just a superimposition on that which is the Atma. So he realizes both in that sense. Here, the plural, etc. The Shruti, by using the term actions, has clearly declared that not only Sanchit and Kriyaman karmas, but also Prarabdha karma is destroyed by knowledge. The Gita also declares, O Arjun, the fire of knowledge reduces all actions into ashes. Moreover, it also stands to reason that Prarabdha, an effect of ignorance, must cease to exist when the latter is destroyed by knowledge. Look at 99. If the ignorant still arbitrarily maintains this, they will not only involve themselves into two absurdities, but also run the risk of foregoing the Vedantic conclusion. So one should accept that Shrutis alone from which proceeds true knowledge. Okay, and we should believe that this, therefore, this prarabdha is something which dissolves. Now, how? The first remark arbitrarily is saying by sheer force of one's own predilections and not on the strength of sound reasoning. If the ignorant still arbitrarily maintains this, and this is possibility of prarabdha and its actions even after knowledge. And what are the absurdities? The upholders of the prarabdha are driven into this absurd position. In the first place, moksha or liberation from the bonds of duality will be impossible for them, because if prarabdha still continues to exist, then there can be no moksha. Clear? Or liberation from the bonds of duality will be impossible for them, as there will always remain a second thing called prarabdha, which is going to bind them down. Okay? So there can be no moksha if it is so. And prarabdha along with Brahma. And in the second place, liberation, the sole aim of knowledge. Being impossible, there will hardly remain any utility of knowledge. And in that case, they have to give up the Shruti on which they build their theory as useless. Since Shruti has no other function but to lead to knowledge, such are disastrous consequences one has to encounter if one is to maintain prarabdha to the end. Okay, we can read 4 and 5 as well. Can you please? Yeah.
Run the risk of foregoing the Vedantic conclusion. The final conclusion of the Vedanta is that there is only one non dual Brahma or Atma, which is birthless, deathless, and free from all modifications. The world of duality is the creation of ignorance and will cease to exist when the latter is destroyed by knowledge. So, persons who maintain that Prarabdha will remain even after knowledge and thus uphold a sort of duality even in the last stage surely sacrifice the ultimate Vedantic truth, which is essentially non dual in its character.
Yeah. The realization of the non dual Atma alone constitutes the real knowledge. And the Shrutis are only means to such knowledge. But all of them do not bring about this knowledge. So those Shrutis alone which teach the non dual Atma and thus directly lead us to the final realization are to be accepted as real. Okay? And all other that support duality are to be treated as secondary, as they have no direct bearing upon the knowledge of truth. In connection with the main topic, it may be said that one should abide by those Shrutis alone which establish the non dual Atma by denying all actions of it, and not by those that maintain prarabdha and thus lend support to duality. Okay, so he is very categorically saying that there is no prarabdha whatsoever, even if you were to argue anything. Only non duality exists, and that being the essence of the matter, rest of this we can logically put into place and have to accept that as logic which has been given. Yeah. So Questions? Quickly take some and then we can move to Nidhi Dhyasanam. We had a discussion last time, but we can have a short one today. Somebody has a doubt.
But all this is for the Jnani. For all of us, since we are not Jnani, it exists.
We will, we will be dealing with duality. We will also be attributing it to prarabdha. Yeah.
With somebody who's a red-eyed person or soul, then like where is he? Where does he?
The dream is over for him.
And like what does he do? Like he's still there.
Yeah, he'll be there.
So like what kind? He just keeps doing his.
He will be there.
He can't be there in this world.
Yeah, he'll be there in the world.
Oh, he will be.
Now let's hear her question just for a moment, please.
So like
There
his
is a thought.
existence, or like for him, he's just one with whatever. But then there's something he's doing, some karma he's doing. So like, what is his journey right now when he's already realized? Because he's still this side. He hasn't,
So we have a shloka in chapter 4, shloka number 16, which says, Karman, jo karm mein karm dekhta hai. So when he sees, a person sees कि ये जो ज्ञानी है, जो कर्म कर रहा है, वो वास्तव में अकर्म है. वो किस तरह से होता है कि हमें लगता है कि वो कर्म कर रहा है, क्योंकि कुछ बॉडीली मूवमेंट्स हैं उसके. ही इज ईटिंग फूड, ही मे बी doing some normal things. So we see them to be karmas. But in his own mind, in his own self, he is not doing any karma. He is beyond that.
so like once he passes away, then he does not take rebirth.
Yeah.
So if somebody who believes in death is bound in this cycle of birth and death forever,
Yeah.
because there is no moksha at all.
Yeah.
So if somebody who believes in death doesn't believe in moksha,
Well, I will not want to go down that route. But essentially, what is the thought process in people who follow duality? Okay, they say that there is a God. Okay, and I am not God, but that God will take me with Him, or He will bless me and merge me with Him, or something like that. Not merge with me, but sorry, He will not merge me with Him. That will not happen, because that will lead to non-duality,
you are not doing.
which we are saying in our own case as well, non-dual. Okay, but वो मेरे को ले जाएगी. So we have that. So we leave that entire story to that one Lord.
No, but so what we're saying is, like what Sujata said, we have among us somebody who's got the gyan. So that means he's taken a birth in this life with his gyan, but he's not going to have a rebirth. And in this world, he sees everything, but he is. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
How can somebody who's achieved moksha
So let's
be in
understand.
this world with us, not have a rebirth, not have karma, but he's still living, still has a body? That's the point. That is a bit confusing.
So he still has a body, but he doesn't believe he has a body.
So
One second. He doesn't believe he has a body.
What does he believe then?
He doesn't. He is united with that one, and he believes he's that one only.
So in
Is
our
I am-
ignorance we see the body. No?
Huh? Sorry.
So we just said in our ignorance we see.
So I am not a realized person. I see him. I see his body. Are you understanding? I, as an unrealized person, will see that body.
But
He has dissolved himself.
But you said after
But he
moksha,
still has a body.
yeah, but you said that after moksha we don't have to take birth after birth.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So he will not take birth.
how he is in a body?
He is remaining to be in the body which has come to him because of prarabdha. Let's understand that part
No,
first.
but if he has already
First, let's understand. Okay, he has come into birth because there is prarabdha. He can come into birth in
Prarabdha
two
means
forms.
karma
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah. So there are two forms in which he can come: nivritti roop, pravritti roop. We saw that, right? In the nivritti roop, he has just come for some very brief reason, and he has all the knowledge, and he will go.
Very
Okay.
quickly.
Whatever.
Because he
Ramana
has less
Maharishi,
bad
whatever.
karmas to delete.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And then those who are in the pravritti roop, they'll come, they'll spend their time till the time they don't realize themselves. Let's take example of Vivekananda, Ramakrishna. Okay. And they, once they realize themselves, they will continue whatever, in the sense we see them continue to doing. But in themselves, they are not doing.
But these kind of people are very few.
They'll be always few.
So they feel they don't have a body. They feel that they.
That doesn't make sense to them. No? Let's understand, body is more like our identity. So they don't have an identity. It's not the physical form alone we're talking about. They don't have an identity. There's nothing to do with the body. They're living that body because they have decided that they are going to perform some actions for the people so that they can understand and they can follow what has to be done so that they can become good human beings themselves,
Yeah.
which is for the welfare of humanity.
To help them gain.
We can take the names of Guru Nanak,
Yeah.
Ramakrishna, Aurobindo, you can take so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krishnamurti, whatever. They will do that. But for them, body has no identity.
They don't. The body doesn't have an identity, and they're not creating any new karma.
Therefore, they are not creating any new karma. So
Yeah.
when we look at the term karma, karma has got a karta. There is an action of ongoing thing happening, and there is an outcome. It's a doership. There is an action which is happening, and there is an outcome.
I think now I understand.
Yeah. So the
It's the
doership is
identity
gone.
thing. It's the identity factor.
The doership is arising out of me, the ego, the identity which I have created as a doer, which is what has got dissolved.
So they will not have a rebirth at all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Why will they not have rebirth?
Because they've already achieved moksha.
That's good. But why will they not have rebirth? Why? How do they achieve moksha?
Because then what's the meaning
Because
of
they've got the
moksha?
gyan.
Yeah, that is right also. But I'm just going to ask a simple question because they are not creating the bondage of the actions which are constantly being undertaken by people like us. Okay. Because they have become akarta. So to see anything which is happening in this world is out of triputi. Three things: the doer, the outcome, and the action which is happening. Whatever thing which is happening. Okay, so we try and dissolve the outcome by doing asakti rahit karma. Okay, we are not attached to the outcomes, so therefore we are dissolving the impact of the outcome because that outcome to which we have an attachment attaches to us and we create bondage as we perform actions, which do not allow us to go away from this cycle of birth and death, right? Now, as soon as we dissolve that attachment to the outcome, the attachment itself to the bondage which is going to be created out of the outcome has been released, has been dissolved. Yeah. So that is one aspect of the Triputi. So we dissolve that. And then we understand that this particular karma action which is happening, okay, is also changing and it is transient. And we realize that we are actually not the doer as well. And we dissolve the entire space of the three things, which is what this Prakriti or this Jagat is made of.
But you know, a Jnani, till he gains that knowledge, has done some karma. He's also absolved from the bondage of those karmas.
Yeah. So once the dissolution happens, then you are out of the dream. Whether the actions were there, not there, whether they were there 5 minutes back or 20 days back or previous janam or whatever else, all of them are now over on waking up. As soon as you realize that the snake does not exist, only rope is there, then there is nothing to look at.
So, which means this concept of prarabdha is also an illusion.
Yes, part of the illusion.
So suppose we take someone like Guru Nanak. He was born with some prarabdha karma left. Say that's for 10 years or 20 years. After that, he continues to live because he has a role to play in
He gains gyan, let us
his
say.
gyan, and he now has to share that gyan and help human beings,
Yeah.
other humans.
Yeah.
I don't know at what age he passed away, but whatever age he did, so that is determined by what? I mean, whatever age that he passed away.
He is not material any longer for
But
him.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying that is being seen by us as in age.
Yeah.
For him, it was a act where he was making a choice himself for the welfare of humanity.
And
When he finished that particular task, he went.
when he finished his task. So his would have also been predetermined, or
His predetermined is only till the time he's taken the birth. After that, his actions are what he is going to perform here.
so in his case it was not predetermined. He decided when he wanted to go. I mean, I'm
In
still
a
saying.
sense. In a sense.
Yeah. I think that's more clear.
But how can we say like we have given name of Vivekananda, Guru Nanak? How the rebirth has not occurred to them? How do we get?
When you listen to them and you understand them, then you realize also when we read our own Gita chapter 2 itself, there are lakshan, there are characteristics which are available to us defined by Krishna in Gita itself, which show that the person who is realized will be what? What will be his? How will he look like? Often enough, we can start believing that we have realized ourselves.
True. So in a normal person, other than the names we have, you, me, anybody else, we also got this body because of the product, and we are doing some work. And like we are doing some karma. The day we realize, anybody of us realize that I need to be like not connected with my outcome of my works or outcome of my action, or I don't get hurt by anybody saying this, or I don't do any like that type of realization come. That generally comes, which I feel is when we are near to our end days. Means. And generally people are the few whosoever I have seen in family and all that, their thought process changes during that time. When they are near to the end time, thought process changes. They don't want to meet anybody. They are not like very attached or egoistic or anything. They become so cool and calm at the end days. Many people may not be. Some people may not be cool and calm, and they just say like Hare Krishna or something. They without any knowledge or without intentionally there, but they do that. So we don't know what is happening to them at the end or after this death or after this life also. What is
Yeah.
like happening
So
to them?
we know that either they have realized themselves or they have not realized themselves.
Yes.
So they are very close to realization.
So
In either of the two cases, Bhagwan says that I take that forward as impressions in next life, and he will realize himself then, whatever has to happen.
this is slowly, like this is only just to understand it that slowly means we
Yeah.
don't know when.
Yeah.
When some people realize
We
at
people-
the near to the end of the days, maybe some may, then maybe the next means whatever it happens, when it time, just the last para finishes and you spend the rest of the life as a realized person, or you still lesser time you spend between your end date and the realized person. This may vary from
Yeah. Yeah.
person to person.
And we are looking at it from a point of view of being ignorant. So that state in which the individual is, we will not understand. Right? Just as suppose we've gone on a trek and we're climbing a mountain. Okay, we can see the peak, but we don't know how far it is. We don't know how much difficult it is. How
Right.
close are we? If you
Right.
talk to ask somebody who's along the way, he'll say, "बस सामने ही है, बाजू में है, वो थोड़ा सा आगे जाके है." That's what they'll tell you, no? Because they may feel it is so. For us, it'll be as if it's a very long journey, still, because they're used to it. They have been there. The perception which we carry is what we don't know, and therefore we are not able to visualize. Yeah.
No, it is generally people say, कहा जाता है अभी तो बहुत टाइम है ये सब कर लेंगे, अभी तो बहुत टाइम है ये सब, but we don't know what
Yeah.
time is there.
So we come to Nididhyasan. Okay, so Nididhyasan is a section which is talking about we have understood that there is Atma. We understood that Brahma is the basis for the entire Jagat. Atma and Brahma is same. So what should we do to realize that? If a Granth is not telling you, if a Shastra is not telling you the truth and how to realize the truth, the Shastra is going to be incomplete. We just read it in a a point here made by Vimuktanandji. Okay. So here as well, he is telling us that how do I realize the ultimate self, myself? And these are 15 sadhanas which are there. I had circulated a sheet earlier which had 41 sadhanas in it, and 15 of them are Nididhyasana. Anybody recalls those 41 sadhanas? Maybe not. Okay, so we will have it circulated again. I'll send it out, don't worry. But let's look at this. Nididhyasan ke 15 different parts, different methods which have been specified in Nididhyasan. Nididhyasan means what? अब मैं पूर्वोक्त ज्ञान निष्ठा की प्राप्ति के लिए 15 अंग बतलाता हूं. उन सब से सर्वदा निधिध्यासन अभ्यास करना चाहिए. निधिध्यासन मीन्स अभ्यास, प्रैक्टिस. ओके, किसके लिए 15 अंग बतलाता हूं? ज्ञान निष्ठा के लिए. मीन्स स्टेबिलिटी, स्टेडफास्टनेस इन ज्ञान, in knowledge, that ultimate knowledge. Right? निरंतर अभ्यास किए बिना सच्चित स्वरूप आत्मा की प्राप्ति नहीं हो सकती. Which has been said even earlier. बिना विचार किए, निरंतर विचार किए. Even in shloka number 2 or 3, it has been said again and again. He is repeatedly saying. Even in Gita, तैल धारा की तरह निरंतर अभ्यास करने से ही ज्ञान प्राप्त होता है. 10वां अध्याय में है. ओके. अतः जिज्ञासु को चाहिए कि कल्याण प्राप्ति के लिए, कल्याण प्राप्ति, मोक्ष प्राप्ति के लिए चिरकाल तक फॉरएवर, एंडलेसली ब्रह्म चिंतन करे. कि ब्रह्म जो है वो इस प्रकार का है, मैं वही ब्रह्म हूं, ये चिंतन करे. इस पे कॉन्टेम्पलेट करें, इस पे मेडिटेट करें. निरंतर अभ्यास के बिना, ये मैंने पढ़ दिया. सो वी कैन रीड दिस इन इंग्लिश. 100 and 101, 2 shlokas please.
100. Now for the attainment of the aforesaid knowledge, I shall expound the 15 steps by the help of which one should practice profound meditation at all times. Note 1. Now for the attainment. Verses 24 to 28 have set forth in detail the nature of knowledge, which is the goal of life. But it is not sufficient only to know about the goal, one must acquaint oneself with the means of its attainment as well. The 15 steps here inculcated are the means which, if earnestly followed, will gradually lead the initiate to the desired goal. 101. The Atma, that is absolute existence and knowledge, cannot be realized without constant practice. So, one seeking after knowledge should long meditate upon Brahma for the attainment of the desired goal. Note 1. Should long meditate upon Brahma. The realization of Brahma does not come in a day. It requires years of strenuous effort. One should not, therefore, give up one's practice even if one meets with failure in the initial stages, but should continue it with renewed vigor. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, a bona fide cultivator never gives up his cultivation even if there is no crop for a few years. He continues it with ever increasing zeal till he reaps a good harvest. So should a true aspirant.
So this is basically saying that these are the 15 practices and you should do them endlessly so that you can realize that ultimate. Okay. So what are these 15 practices? So we have two shlokas which cover this. Yamo hi niyamastya tyago, इस तरह से. So basically yam, niyam, tyag, मौन, देश, काल, आसन, देह की समता, नेत्रों की स्थिति, प्राणायाम, प्रत्याहार, धारणा, ध्यान, समाधि. Okay, so these are 15. A lot of terms are common between what we understand from Patanjali Yoga Shastra also. In Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi is also there. Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi is also there in Patanjali Yoga Shastra. The 8th step to realization, Ashtang Yoga. Right? Here, the terms used are same, but they mean quite differently. The way Patanjali explains Yam, it is different from the Yam as it is explained here. The way Niyam is explained by Patanjali is different. Okay? And we'll understand this here. I will not dive into Patanjali, but because it's a little long and those are Ashtang Yoga means that it is really a treatise by itself to explain that. But we will understand what he is saying here. Okay? So when we look at the term like Yam, okay, next shloka, सब ब्रह्म ही है, सब ब्रह्मा ही है. कैसे ब्रह्मा है? We'll understand that. ऐसे ज्ञान से इंद्रियों का वशीभूत हो जाना. ऐसे ज्ञान से इंद्रियों का वशीभूत हो जाना यम कहलाता है. पतंजलि का यम कहता है कि वो हमें इंद्रियों को कैसे हमें इच्छाओं से अलग करना है. इच्छाओं के पीछे हमारी इंद्रियों को नहीं जाना है, वो यम कहलाता है. ठीक है. यहां पर क्या कह रहे हैं कि सब ब्रह्म ही है. इस प्रकार से सारी इंद्रियां उसमें डूब गई हैं, उसमें वशीभूत हो गई हैं. सब ब्रह्म ही है. किस प्रकार से सब ब्रह्म है? दो प्रकार से सब ब्रह्म है. एक ब्रह्म जो कि बेसिस है, जो स्ट्रेटम है, सब स्ट्रेटम है. दूसरा, जिस तरह से जगत है उसमें समझना कि ये सब ब्रह्म ही है. सगुण में भी ब्रह्म को समझना और निर्गुण में भी ब्रह्म को समझना. Then Yam will be understood, realized. Yam is got will be the sadhana which will be able to help you realize yourself. How will you realize yourself? By thinking and allowing your senses to be totally dissolved or totally drowned, vashibhut hona, in this concept of ye sab brahm hi hai, because now by having that you will realize that I am also that alone. Everything else is also that, I am also that, therefore it becomes I am one with that, and therefore I am that alone. I transcend the space which has been uh, illusionarily created by me alone through my ignorance, because that is also just been only through my own creation. Yeah. So this sadhana is about yam. So you immerse your senses in that which is Brahm alone. We look at the second sadhana. सजातीय प्रवृत्ति का प्रभाव, सजातीय वृत्ति का प्रभाव और विजातीय का तिरस्कार, यही परमानंद रूप नियम है. परमानंद मतलब जो अल्टीमेट ब्लिस को पाने का जो नियम है वो क्या है? सजातीय, those aspects which are aligned to achieving that Paramanand, those have to be followed, and those which are not aligned to realize that are vijatiya. Vritti ka prabha. So the flow of thoughts, the flow of actions which are leading to that is niyam. Not following those which are leading to him, not leading to him, sorry, following those which are leading to him is niyam, as much as those which are not leading to him, we're not doing them, are also niyam. So those practices. So we say what is right or wrong. Right and wrong gets defined by that which is allowing us to attain that ultimate Paramanand Swarup. That is the right activity. Everything else is not right activity. The rights and wrongs defined by anything else are only relative rights and wrongs. Are you getting the point? व्यावहारिक है वो, ये सही है गलत है, ये अच्छा है बुरा है, ये केवल व्यवहारिक है. जो सजातीय वृत्ति का प्रवाह है वो ही एक सही चीज है.
This is a very important point of right and wrong.
Everybody is encountering that. They ask this question, हमें क्या करना चाहिए, सही क्या है. जो चीज, जो प्रवृत्ति हमको सही जगह पे ले जा सकती है उसी को फॉलो करना है. बुद्धिमान लोग इसका नियम पूर्वक पालन करते हैं. You want to read these two shlokas in English? Yam and Niyam.
That's 102 to 103, is it?
No, 104 and
4
105.
104. The restraint of all the senses by means of such knowledge as all this is Brahma is rightly called Yama, which should be practiced again and again. Note 1, Yama. Patanjali described it as non-killing, truthfulness, non-stealing, continence, and non-receiving. But when one knows everything to be Brahma, all of these follow as a matter of course. 105. The continuous flow of only one kind of thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts is called niyam, which is verily the supreme bliss and is regularly practiced by the wise. Note 1. One kind of thought relating to the unity of the individual self with Brahma, such as this Atma is Brahma and I am Brahma. 2. to niyama. According to Patanjali, niyama is internal and external purification, contentment, mortification, Vedic study, and worship of God. These, however, are easily accessible to one who constantly dwells on Brahma.
Right.
I prefer your explanation.
So the continuous flow of only one kind of thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts means that all my thoughts are immersed in that one alone. Okay, that is called niyam. Okay, which is verily the supreme bliss and is regularly practiced by the wise. Okay, it's very simple there. Practicing means that all the time observing your thoughts and allowing those thoughts to go towards that which is one, that Brahma, that unity with Brahma. Okay. Should we go to the next one?
But it's also
106. I know. That's why I said should be.
because of Brahma.
But why have you said mortification? Why
Mortification. So in Niyam, which has been described in Patanjali, okay, all the various aspects, mortification here is that of tapa.
Huh.
So tapa is allowed as a practice which could be part of Niyam in Patanjali.
Mortification has a
Tapa has got mortification as a negative,
negative.
but
Right?
tapa is not. Yeah. Connotation. Yeah. So there are lots of places where we are supposed to deny many things and do many practices. People will say कि हम 5 दिन खाना नहीं खाएंगे, 10 दिन ये नहीं करेंगे, वो नहीं करेंगे. Here it is saying that you just bring your thoughts back to that's niyam, to that which is one united one, constantly. Yeah. So these differences are there, but point is we are looking at what Adi Shankara is saying. We can always keep looking at what Patanjali is saying also. I'll also talk about next time if you want me to about Patanjali. But yeah, Patanjali was before Adi Shankara. Okay, so it is not that Patanjali has taken anything from Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara has taken from Patanjali, if at all.
I'm stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
You do karma to gain knowledge. Once you gain knowledge, karma don't matter.
Correct.
So, is there any other way to gain knowledge and karma don't matter?
Yes and no. Okay.
What is your question?
Any other way to gain knowledge?
So I said you do karma to gain knowledge. The minute you gain knowledge, your karma cease to matter. You left them behind. I said, is there any other way to gain knowledge where karma anyway don't matter?
So when we understand that attainment of Gyan is only through vichar, then we dissolve all the karmas and then we can only attain the final realization. Even in the text it is said that सर्व कर्म संन्यास होने पर ही जो है ज्ञान की प्राप्ति होती है. सर्व कर्म संन्यास का मतलब क्या है कि there is no renunciation of all action has to take place before ज्ञान will happen. So that is the yes part, that there is ज्ञान only happening because of there is being no action. But till the time you don't reach that spot, you need jnana. And to that extent, yes. So you need karma.
You need.
So till that point, you need karma.
Karma as in action.
Yeah,
Karma meaning action.
action.
मीन्स वही टिप पर पहुंचना है, चलना.
जो एकाग्रता की टिप, जो एकाग्रता है, जो चित्त शुद्धि है, जो एक भक्ति, एक में विश्वास, एक मतलब एक पूर्ण श्रद्धा है. हम यदि भक्ति लेंगे, भक्ति योग लेंगे, तो उसमें भी जो पूर्ण श्रद्धा है, उस एक अंत में वो एकाग्रता है, चित्त शुद्धि वाला है. उसके पश्चात जो है कर्म की आवश्यकता नहीं है.
It's like the pole vault.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
referring to
yeah.
that only,
Oh.
but understanding that it is not just leaving the karma, but after that also what happens has to take place for you to actually. Yeah. It's a simple example, but there is a certain amount of. And that aspect we'll understand as we read the Gita again and again. Every time, till the time we have not reached the tipping point, you will not understand what is being said in
So,
Gita.
so what is being said is that the good karma lead to good thoughts.
Yeah. Good thoughts may lead to good karma. Let's start with that.
What I'm saying the other way around.
Maybe
Because the
we
good
can take
thought,
it.
the vichar, and then ekagrata and samadhi.
Yeah.
So,
Correct.
so karma precede this. So good
Correct.
karma lead to good thoughts,
Yeah.
which lead to gyan. But you are saying the other way around.
I am saying thoughts lead to good karma, which leads to contemplation. I'm using the distinction
So
of
contemplation
thought
and
correct.
Okay.
That's all. It's
Okay.
not as if
Okay.
there is a big difference to it. Yeah. These are only nomenclatures we are using. Yeah.
so you're differentiating between
Just a thought.
contemplation and
Just
thoughts.
a thought. Yeah. Not material. Yeah.
No, earlier also we said bar vichar karna. chahiye.
This vichar is
It
about
comes
contemplation.
again, yeah.
This vichar is also mananam. Shravanam, mananam, nididhyasnam are the three aspects of sadhana. Okay, and we are doing the 15 anga, 15 parts of that particular sadhana. I think we
We
will
have
call
that
it.
paper with your 41.
I'll send it out.
I
again.
also, we have it
I will send it out.
in a
No,
file.
Please,
don't worry.
please send it.
I've got the file.
Thank you very much. You have your.
But you said even one is enough to take you. So why bother about the 40?
No, you may choose.
It is starting
Choose
point.
one.
You may choose one of those. Why not?